Hey, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and we're diving into Dream It, Pin It, Live It. We're near the end of the book. We are going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to start creating your vision board. If you have not already started, if you started, awesome. If you have not already started, we're going to dive into it next week. And so as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? I want you to think this one thing. We've been saying this little quote, and I want you to say it and actually think about what you're saying. So As I think, so I feel, right? We talk about the power of our mindset. We're going to talk about the power of learning. But as I think, so I feel. So as you think, the words and the self-talk, positive or negative, as you think, so it creates feelings. And as I feel, positive or negative, so I do, right? Those are your actions. And as you do, so you have. It can go great, and it can go not so great. As I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. As I do, so I have. So keep that in mind. I think it's a great little saying, but it really helps you understand the power of mindset, right? So as you're tuning in, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from, whatever time you're watching this, we're diving into this book. And we are on chapter 9, and we're going to go through the next couple pages. It's going to give you an understanding of what successful people do or what successful people did to get to where they are today. So we've talked a lot about vision boards and dreaming, writing things down that you have dreams for your entire life, but also focusing on 10 to 12 things that you're going to start creating a board. I have not added more to my board, but this is what it looks like. Hold on. I need to add more to it. But writing things down and putting things on a board that you believe that you are going to speak out and you're going to believe for in the next 12 to 18 months. My encouragement to you is start writing, at least add 3 things on here that you think, that you believe you can accomplish by the end of the year. Right? So we are on chapter 9. If you're following along or if you're just tuning in here, awesome. And it says, what do you do while you're waiting? So let's say we've got this vision board created. You've got the board up. You're writing your words down. You're speaking them. You're believing them. You're saying all of these great things. Oh, it's okay. And you've got your list going and you're saying your affirmations, like you're doing the things in the book that it has you do, right? What do we do while we're waiting? That's what this chapter is about. She says, success is something that you attract by the person that you become. And so there's also an aspect of patience, right? There's also an aspect of like, all right, I did all of the things. I wrote it all down. I have my vision board. It's placed in the most perfect space. Now, I have to wait. Like, oh, I forgot that part. Oh, all right. So we're going to go over the next couple pages. And she tells a story of a handful of people that are successful. There's Bill Gates and a whole bunch of people. And she's naming these people. And she said they were talking to each other, Warren Buffett. And she said, somebody asked these 2 men, they said, what do you think the most important skill is for being successful? So I think Bill Gates and Warren Buffett were asked together, what do you think the most important skill is for being successful? And they said, both turned to the man, and they said the same word simultaneously, focus. The number one secret is focus. I think there's the different things you could say, right? Like these 2 men are very successful, so they said focus. I would say consistent focus, right? Consistent action and focus. So what do you do while you are waiting patiently for these dreams and goals to manifest in your life? What do you do when time is ticking and it appears that nothing is changing? How do you stay optimistic in spite of what's not happening? You focus. What do I focus on? Focus on personal development. Some of you might be going, what? The reason I started doing a book club on a keto page is because I've realized that so many people, and she talks about this in the book, after college, or after you were done learning what you wanted to learn, how many of you said, I'm never going to go to school again. I'm never going to read another book again. I'm done. I've done that. I'm working, right? And something that we were blessed with is we've always had great mentors in our life. We've always had people that pushed us to think about like the power of our words and to really challenge us in ways that I had no idea we would be challenged. I'll give you an example. I often talk about ketones on this page, right? I drink ketones. I talk about that every day at 2:00. But what I didn't realize is the power and the community that I was blessed to be a part of 6 years ago would push me to be a better person. Because while you see me drinking ketones, the company is actually about making people better. And a lot of what the CEO poured into me and my husband was the power of mindset and the power of reading. And I've always been a reader, but 6 years ago, we really dove into reading books that would grow our mindset and listening to people that have already had success and learning about self-development in a way I'd never learned about it before. And so we dove head on into books and podcasts and learning. And when I would get up in the morning and I would do my makeup or shower, I was listening to a podcast. I tell people, there's no reason for you not to have self-development all day long. When you're driving, we call it Drive Time University. Listen to an audible book or a podcast, or listen to somebody that inspires you, right? When you're cooking, listen to a book, listen to a podcast when you're doing your makeup, when you're showering. In all of these different situations, like I love to physically have the book in my hand, but there are times where I've listened to a book or an audible, or I've listened to something over and over and over again, and you catch the things that you're supposed to catch, and then the other things, you'll come back later, right? It builds up who you are. It builds up your belief. And so that's what she's talking about is in chapter 3, she says the focus was on clearly defining a goal, but now I want you to notice how they also have a personal development plan, right? So part of it is you've got your goals on your dream board. Now we're going to develop you as a person. That's why I started reading on here early in the spring, because let's just be real. The keto diet is great. Recipes are great. But if you're not going to get your mindset right and you're not going to work on yourself and your beliefs, then all of that is going to be easily thrown out the door when the cake and the ice cream and the parties and the self-doubt comes into play. It's easy to go, nope, I'm done. Oh, shoot, this isn't for me. I don't believe that I can do it. But if we get this right, guess what? Everything else will fall into place over time and with focus. So, the secret of your future is in your daily routine. What? If you have followed us for any point in time, we went through this book earlier this year, or earlier this summer. Maybe it was in June. This book will help you with your routine. We talk about own your morning, own your day. My husband and I get up. My husband's very routined. I am still in the progress of being better routined. But we get up in the morning, we work out, we read, we do lives, I answer my questions. I do all of the things before my kids wake up in the morning. Own your morning, own your day. If you can own your morning and get everything done that you want to get done without being rushed and being stressed, and you get your mindset right, you're going to go through the rest of your day making better choices. You're going to go through the rest of your day and people are going to look at you and go, why are you so happy, right? You're going to be the encourager instead of the pessimistic person that got up late, hit the alarm clock, was crabby, grabbed the wrong thing for breakfast, out the door, you made the wrong choice, and then you've got to start over in your head, right? That's you, right? It's a battle in your mind. If you have not read this book, To Own Your Morning, I would really highly recommend you grabbing a book. It's a short read. Grab it, go through it. It's an incredible book, but that's what she talks about. She says, what you have at this very moment, you have attracted by the person you've become. So if you look at what you have in your life, that is the person that you've become. If you don't have much, perhaps you haven't become much. Sometimes I think we hear things and you're like, oh, that's harsh. But sometimes the truth hurts. And I'm not, It's not like you want to hurt somebody's feelings, but you have to go, hey, if you aren't where you want to be today, you've got to look at the things that you do on a daily basis. You've got to look at the people that you're around. You've got to look at, like, are you doing self-development, or do you just let the world own you? Like, are you a negative person or are you a positive person? Look at everything in your life and you have to go, how did I get here? And if I don't want to be here, I'm clearly going to have to make some choices and some different decisions, right? Doesn't have to be huge decisions. It's going to be small little things. Some of you have asked what book we're going through. We're creating a vision board. This is what it's called. You can go to terri.com, Terri. I like to buy the book from the author. Terri.com. Grab the book and go through it. This one, you can get lots of different places. It's just called The Miracle Morning. Super great. You can follow him on Instagram. He shares lots of different things from his book. And so she says, learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. She just talks about the power of your mindset and how you're going to be able to go further, faster, longer, not quit because your mindset is telling you that you can, right? It's the power of reading. She says, when I went to college, when I finished, I said I would never read again. Then I realized that's wrong. We should be developing ourselves every single day by reading and listening to people. Much is required in order for much to be given. So you're going to have to put in the work, right? It's not just given to you. It's focus and action. The bottom line is this. If you want more, you have to become more. We are going to work through chapter 115. And so she says, your life will only grow to the extent that you grow. If you don't like the size of your life, make an investment in the size that you grow. Grow into the dreams you have, into that vision board, into the things that we're creating. You're going to grow into it by reading and listening and taking action and focusing on what you want. What you achieve isn't nearly as important as who you become, because as you're working on your goals, as you're working on a goal, the goal is working on you. And I 100% agree with that. When we joined this company, when we started drinking ketones, it was all about just health, right? But I didn't realize we would be pushed to become a better person. We were taught how to grow and invest, and we were taught how to do self-development. And we've become, if you would have seen me 6 years ago or over 6 years ago, we've become, my husband and I have become a completely different person. Not in my character, not in like, I am who I am. I grew up in an incredible family, but in my mindset and the way I was able to focus and the dreams and desires that we had as a family, we became that as people challenged us. And as our CEO said, read this book, go listen to this person. I want you to speak. I want you to take action. Go do this. Even though you're super scared, go do it anyways. And we were pushed. We were pushed hard. And the outcome over the last 6 years has been incredible. As a mom, as a wife, as a leader, as a friend, we've become better people because of that. But it wasn't comfortable at all. We've learned a ton. It was fun and challenging. And so it's as simple as reading and plugging into people that you admire and inspire you to become a better person, and you have to put in the work. So the person who stops studying, the person who stops growing, the person who stops reading merely because they have already finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity, no matter what their calling is. Napoleon Hill said that. We're going to go through this book next month, starting October. It'll probably take us a while, so it might take 2 months. Think and Grow Rich. It's an incredible book. Grab it. We'll start October 1st. And I'll end it with this. Successful people never stop growing. These successful people represent the most goal-oriented people in the world, and they found it helpful to consistently listen to motivational teaching. She gave a whole list of people, and she said, what did they do as they were learning and growing? And Ziglar said this. He says, all of the people that you can look at right now, you might look at people and go, oh, they got lucky. Oh, I wish I had what they had. You can look at not even just movie stars, like people in your neighborhood, people that you actually physically are around, and it's easy to go, oh, their parents must have did that for them. Oh, silver spoon. They got lucky. It's just not in the cards for me. I bet you if you look at any successful person, 95% of successful people. You didn't see the challenges, the struggles. You didn't see the things they had to work through, the actions they had to take. You didn't see the failures that they had until they got to where they are today, right? You didn't see all of those things. You didn't see the endless nights of reading and listening and putting things down on paper and writing out their goals and speaking their affirmations. You didn't see it. You're seeing what they have today because of the work they did over the course of years. And so don't ever judge yourself against somebody else, and don't ever point a finger and think that they got it easily. Ever, ever, ever. You look at yourself in the mirror, you look at what you want, you go after your dreams and goals, and knowing it's going to take work. And it starts with your mind. It starts here. If you want fat loss, it starts here. Do you believe that you can do it? Do you believe that you can lose the weight? Are you speaking over yourself? Are you saying, yes, I am beautiful. Yes, I'm going to lose this weight. Yes, I'm strong. Or are you constantly beating yourself up? Because if you're doing that, you're not going to get to where you want to go. Mindset is key. That's why we're reading every single day. I think it's super important. So we're ending on page 115 for those who are following along. And then starting tomorrow, she's going to give you habits that you should focus on in order to go after these, after the dreams and visions and goals are written down, habits that you need in order to go after those goals and see them come to pass over time with focus. So this is a book that we've gone through. I hope you're loving it. I'd love to know your biggest takeaways. What are you loving about it? Have you created your board? Who's created their board? I'd love to know if you did the work over this last weekend. We talked about your 5 closest friends and really truly paying attention to the people that you surround yourself with. I would love to know below, did you do the activity? And does anybody, if you did the activity, did anybody go, yes, I need to find some new friends, or I need to find a mentor? It would just be interesting. So our mentors are coming to stay with us this week. I'm super excited. So I hope you have an incredible day. Continue to read the book. Let me know if you have any questions. Reach out. I will share any keto tips and tricks and things that have worked for us with you. We've got 6 years of living this lifestyle, and more importantly, I'd love to help you start your journey. So I hope you have an incredible day. Reach out with any questions that you have, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.